On today's episode of i-Dentity, Clinical Associate Victor Mokokotlela is in our coffee shop. We attend a colorful traditional Zulu wedding. In our What's Appening segment, we feature an app to help you deal with stress. We also check out the book Faith and Revolution by Haroon Aziz. And we wrap up the show with the gospel sounds of Samkelo Dlamini.
I am an individual with an imagination. My inner faith illuminates innovations. In a space with infinite inspiration, I was born free from all incarceration. Incredible, living infallibly, intelligent, outshine with my inner being. This is me, impeccable as ever been. I am you, you are me. This is my identity.
A beautiful morning to you, Mzansi, and welcome to i-Dentity, the show that adds a spring to your step, especially as we welcome the blossoming month of September. Mpumi Mbethe. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verses 1 says, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens." I hope this new season of spring reminds you that there will always be a new and refreshing chapter waiting for you. Let's bring more sunshine into your life with today's episode. Here is our guest. Our Bill of Rights states that everyone has a right to access health care. My guest today is passionate about ensuring that this right is respected, and he has made it his objective to be an agent of change by joining the medical profession, but not in the conventional sense. Victor Mokokotlela is a clinical associate, a new healthcare profession that was introduced to South Africa in 2011 and is geared towards helping to improve the healthcare system and the well-being of communities in South Africa. In 2012, Victor helped establish the Professional Association of Clinical Associates in South Africa, which was formed to protect the interest of clinical associates and to ensure that their voices are heard. This young man sees his future in the field of public health, influencing health systems on a broader scale. Leli jaha litimisele ngekutfutfukisa simo setempilo la eNingizimu Afrika. After all, health is wealth. Welcome to i-Dentity, Victor.
Thank you very much. I'm very much honored to be here on the show.
Ngifuna ukukhuluma ngokuthi Victor bekamvana lonjani le Carltonville la ukhulele khona.
Growing up, grew up like every other kid, was very playful, tried a whole lot of different things, did sports, a lot of cultural activities at school. I remember I also did drama at school, and first time trying, I actually got the Best Actor award.
Nice.
And that's apart from sports and everything else. Yeah, so I was very, energetic and also very, I was participating quite a lot in school events, and also outside of school, played soccer with the local football club that we had there at the time in town. So yeah, that's me growing up.
But Victor, now usakhula benihamba alisonto mhlambe ekhaya khona inkolo lethite benilandzela.
Yeah, but we've been, I grew up in the Catholic Church. We went through all the rites of initiation in the Catholic Church, from baptism to Holy Communion until I was confirmed. And it's really been a pleasant journey for me. I've matured quite a lot through the church. I remember I was part of the youth group at our church for a long time. When I was still a student, when I was still in high school as well, I was quite active in the youth pastoral council. And through that, I learned a whole lot of lessons. Like I said before, I was always very energetic and participated in the choir. People can judge at church how well I sang, but anyway, but I was actually quite happy to be part of the church, happy to be part of that spiritual journey. And I have to thank my parents also, for introducing Christ to my life very early on. And I believe it does really play a big role in what I do today, in the work, in how I carry myself from day to day.
Ngitiphi mhlambe letinye tintfo longatsi utifunze esonveni usakhula lo ti practice nyalo empilweni yakho?
Yeah, I think one of the important lessons that I've learned are that you've got to love. You've got to love others. You've got to treat others with respect, the same way you would treat your own brother and sister with love, regardless of whatever religious background they might be from. And this also helps me today because I work with people. I work with, in South Africa, we're a diverse country, and we've got people with different backgrounds. And what I've learned in church is, this principle of love and treating everybody equally. I think it has gone a long way in helping me become a good clinical associate in my practice and acknowledge the difference and the diversity that we have in clinic.
Let's talk about your practice, because bantwana labanyenti nabakhula athi ngifuna ukuba ngudokotela kumbe ngifuna ukuba unesi asati kakhulu ngalo mkhakha wetempilo ukuthi kunema clinical psychologists now associate kuyini.
True. It was actually a very scary journey in the beginning because I remember soon after matric, I knew that I wanted to be in health, but what exactly I didn't know. I will admit that I had a lot of self-doubt then in the beginning. I was afraid to commit to medicine and doing medicine because I was afraid I'd fail, I'd not make it. So I stood there stuck, not knowing exactly what to do. And then I received a call one day from Dr. Andrew Truscott, who was program coordinator at the time of clinical associate at FITS, and said, hey, we've got this new program and this is what you'll be doing. You'll be seeing patients, you'll be doing procedures, you'll be ordering tests, and et cetera, that we're doing now. And I said, let me give it a try. You know, I believe I was quite brave then, you know, to go for it, you know. And I just said to myself, there's a very popular saying in Zulu that says, I just, you know, took it that way and said, it just means that, you know, whatever happens, I'm just going to go for it. Even if I die, I'm just going to go for it, you know. So that was the mentality I had then. You know, I just wanted to go for it, and whatever happens, happens. So I'm glad to say today that it has worked out. I'm quite happy as a clinical associate, and I believe that the profession itself has grown in the few years that it's been out.
Yeah, you mentioned that it's a fairly new practice, and seni establish i-PACASA. Ungasitshela kabanti ukuthi kuyini?
PACASA is a professional association of clinical associates in South Africa. So the idea behind PACASA was that, well, as a new profession and as young professionals graduating from school, from university, we saw that, you know, there are a lot of things that are missing, and we have so many complaints, so many ideas also, not just complaining about the negative things, but so many other positive additions that we had in our minds that this is what we can bring to the table. But there was no vehicle to drive this. There was nobody to say, these guys have so and so. So, you know, I believe that necessity is the mother of invention. So that's when we came up with the idea to have an association that can be representative of all clinical associates, have all the ideas being put through this one body and say, we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and can you help us with A, B, C, and D? And basically, PACASA is an organization that caters for all clinical associates in South Africa. Everybody who wants to work with clinical associates, it need not necessarily be a clinical associate, but it's basically a voice for clinical associates.
Victor, ekuqaleni ukhulume ngokuthi bowusaba kungena kulo mkhakha lo musha. Bantu labasha bayasaba esikhatsini esiningi kucala tinvo. Yini lo ngayisho kukhuthaza umuntu lo musha ukuthi go for it?
Yeah, you've got to be brave. You know, I don't think that anybody is born with a spirit of bravery in them. Through life, you know, you learn to take certain things as they come, and some things work out, some things don't. But when you think about it, those people who were brave in the beginning are the ones who are actually thriving in life. So got to be brave. Like I said, you know, go for it and see what happens.
Let's see what happens if you were a glove. Would you want to be a male or a female glove?
I'd want to be a female glove.
If you were a car, whom from your family would you want to be the driver of that car? You're the car.
Sure, my dad.
Oh, you trust your dad?
Yes.
If you were an actor, what kind of movies would you want to star in?
Action movies, definitely.
And if you were a hairstyle, would you be a razor cut or bongo braids?
Not razor cut, I'd rather go with bongo braids.
And if you were a Pirates coach for the day, which team would you want to play against first?
Oh, definitely Kaizer Chiefs. I'd like to beat them.
If you were money, where would you want to be spent?
On cars.
If you were a tree, who would you want to shade?
my sister.
Siyambongela Victor, sibongela kakhulu isikhathi sakho babe and sikufisela konke lokuhle kulomkhakha lo wendako niqhubeke nende emsebenzini lomuhle la eNingizimu Afrika.
Ngiyabonga sisi Nhlelebo, and thank you very much for having me on the show.
Maya Angelou once said, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. I hope Victor's legacy lives on in the lives of those he has touched through his passion and medical care. Sisathatha ikhefu masibuya sidwe esibukeng ngiyobona umshado wesiZulu. Hlala uthine.
This is my identity. This is my identity.
Thank you for staying tuned to i-Dentity, the show that fills your cup to the brim with spiritual infotainment. It's time now for this week's Encounters Insert. Sitfole mlayeto ku Facebook lophuma kuMpokophelele ufundzeka ngalena ndlela. Hi i-Dentity, my name is Mpokophelele from Lean On Dance Theatre based in Deep Kloof, Soweto, and I would like the i-Dentity team to accompany us to Sebokeng, where we are going to perform at a traditional wedding, Amahlabiso. Hope to hear from you soon. Goodbye. Sinela ku i-Dentity siyathandza kufundzisa kabandi ngemasiko lahlukahlukene ala eNingizimu Afrika. Sihambile sayochitha isikhathi naMpho nema Lean On dancers basitshela kabandi ngamahlabiso lokumshado wesiZulu. Kotela na Inzaba.
This is my identity.
Sanbonani i-Dentity viewers, igama lami nguMpokophelele. I'm your guest presenter for the day. Ngiphuma eLean On Dance Theatre ePhume Deep Kloof. Sila esibukeng namhlanje kuMahlabiso ngicela singenini. Sis journey usis Meki Kubeka. She's a family member. Sis Meki Kubeka besicela ukuthi sitshele ngale wedding ceremony namhlanje.
Okay, the wedding ceremony is my sister's wedding, and no, you know what? Let's bring traditional thing and let it be like let's put more tradition in everything, because hence sometimes it's no kosha. We forget our roots, so we must not forget where we come from, because now the future is bright for us.
Okay, oh well, sazi ukuthi imindeni eminingi inamasiko are different. So sicela usitshele isiko la namhlanje ukuthi yini?
Isiko la namhlanje it's a Zulu and Pedi. Why Zulu and Pedi? Because sikhaba untombazana and untombazana uzwala umntwana nomZulu. So we brought amaTswana nabaZulu ukuthi bazositshengisa ukuthi intombazana kahle kahle uphumaphi.
OkwesiZulu bathi sibocela permission before songena endlini abantu, so besicela permission ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi sihlangane nomndeni wakho sijabulisane nomndeni wakho.
Yeah, ningahlangana nomndeni, siyabonga kakhulu ukusicela kuqala. It's fine, sizon introduce ubaba uzanitshela ngabazi ukuthi kwenzakalani esiZulwini, antshele kahle kahle ukuthi isiZulu yini.
Sibongile mameki. Manje sesinobaba ukubheka ubaba wala ekhaya. Sawona baba.
Sawona mntanami.
Baba namhlanje sizwile kuthiwa Amahlabiso, sicela ukuthi usitshele yini Amahlabiso.
Umhlabiso kumukela umkhwenyana kumfaka ekhaya ukuthi engenza noma ngabe yini njengomntanami la ekhaya.
Baba sizwile nokuthi baba namhlanje kunemqombothi, besicela ukwazi ukuthi why kukhona umqombothi.
Umqombothi utshwala besintu, sikhule umqombothi wenziwa iwona omukeleke kakhulu kwabaphansi.
Baba, usually makuhama lobola negotiations abakhona. Sicela ukwazi ukuthi why kumele abe khona amalobola negotiations.
Amalobolo mntanami sivele ekhona amalobolo ngoba amalobolo yiwo ahlanganisa imindeni emibili, owakubo entombazane nakubo umfana.
Usually emicimbini eso kuhlatshwa imbuzi. Why imbuzi?
Imbuzi ihlatshwa ngoba imbuzi iyona emukeleke kakhulu kwabaphansi nenkomo iyona emukeleke kakhulu kwabaphansi ngoba imbuzi nayihlatshwa iyakhala imemeza idlozi.
Baba besicela ukwazi ukuthi why amasiko abalulekile namhlanje singabafundisa abantwana abakhulayo ngamasiko.
Amasiko mntanami abaluleke kakhulu kwizizukulwana ngezizukulwana ngoba amasiko awafanelanga ukuthi alahlwe na umuntu nesiko.
Manje sijoine imember yeLinon Dance Theatre uSizakele Masango. Sizakele Masango sicela ukuthi usitshele ukuthi benizoyenzani namhlanje la.
Namhlanje besohlanganisa umakoti nomkhwenyana nge-traditional dance and umshado wabo bokuyi-tradition, so yeah, izinto zihambe kahle.
Manje sengijoine uZandile Mhlangeni imember yaseLinon Dance. Sicela ukuthi usitshele ukuthi iLinon Dance Theatre beyenzani namhlanje.
iLinon Dance Theatre namhlanje beyizelana esibukeni emahlabiseni ukuzozirepresenta isitswana besodensa isitswana.
Sicela ukuthi usitshele makube nizodensa isitswana yini enibonisayo or you just go with the flow now?
Okay, masidensa isitswana sometimes kuba ne-storyteller esizenzayo masidensa isitswana, but then sometimes siyaperforma nje because methi entertain abantu.
Njengabe sile emshadweni bomuhle umshado sicela ukwazi ukuthi ufundeni wena ngomshado.
Mina ngifunde ngomshado ama different cultures ngoba ngathi kunesitswana kunesiZulu lana ama culture different angafani.
Manje sesinomakoti wethu nomkhwenyana. Since you're from two different cultures, how do you tolerate each other?
You know, Kotela, with a lot of people around you, different cultures, different vibes, you get to know a lot of languages. So, so we know different languages, I know different languages, he knows different languages, so there's not a problem.
Well, that's from me, i-Dentity viewers. It's Katsugusi naming hambing your train abanye. Thank you from Makoti nomkhwenyana hey. Ukuthi basiyeke enjoy nabo namhlanje. So ciao from Umpo. It's back to Mpumi.
The melting pot that is South Africa always dishes up tasteful cultural cuisine. Thank you to Mpho for inviting us to witness the unity of these two souls and giving us insight into the isiZulu culture of Amahlabiso. Uma ngabe nawe ufisa kusethulela indzaba yakho, sithumelele i-email ku identitytvshow@gmail.com. Time for another ad break. When we come back, we head straight into our What's Happening media segment. Unganyakala.
This is my identity. This is my identity.
Welcome back to the show that gets your week off to an inspired start, i-Dentity. If you've just joined us, here's what you missed. We put the show into gear with Clinical Associate Victor Mokokotlela. Our regional story from Sibukeng mirrored love, devotion, and cultural practices. Time now to get techno-savvy, take out your gadgets, and let's get connected for our media reviews. This is what's happening today. Throughout our busy days, we are often faced with stressful situations. Today's app will help you learn how to cope with stress, thereby maximizing your productivity. It's called iCouch. Drawing on strategies from cognitive behavioral therapy, the iCouch app makes it easy to keep track of your thinking, analyze your emotions, and change your outlook on life. All you have to do is input what happened and how it made you feel. And then the app guides you through a process of thinking about how you could have reacted differently. Simply select the What Happened option, describe the situation that upset you, and add the emotions you felt as well as their intensity. continue on to the think about it option, describe your thoughts, evaluate them, and note any distortions that may be negatively influencing your feelings. The app allows you to then create a better thought and write down how you can respond the next time you are faced with a similar situation. The iCouch app offers a goal-oriented approach that trains you to rethink your reactions even in the heat of the moment. Download it today and get relief from stress, anxiety, and anger. South Africa is a diverse country that suffered tremendously under the former apartheid regime, and often we overlook some major key players who had a hand in aiding South Africa break free. Today we review a book that hails Muslim heroes who played their part in the fight against apartheid. It's called Faith and Revolution. Faith and Revolution is a book written by Haroon Aziz, a nuclear energy research specialist. Aziz secretly worked through different political and business people to help conceal his profession and political activities. Having been wrongly profiled and accused of terrorism in the apartheid era, Aziz has a personal understanding and insightful overview of the people he writes about. The book honors and identifies 777 Muslims who played significant roles in the struggle for freedom in South Africa over a period of 326 years. It covers stories of political Muslim prisoners and slaves beginning in 1860 all the way to the 19th century. Faith and Revolution is a myriad of stories that embody bravery and devotion for one's country and faith. It tells tales of Muslims who have helped South Africa rise above apartheid. The book is filled with captivating stories coupled with well-written prose, poetry, and thought-provoking photography. So get yourself a copy of Faith and Revolution at your nearest bookstore today. We have come to the end of another enriching episode of i-Dentity. I hope that the i-Dentity team and I have brought some sunshine into your life today. The 9th of September marks International Fetal Alcohol Syndrome Day. The day is commemorated each year at 9:09 on the 9th day of the 9th month. The day aims to draw attention to the fact that women should abstain from drinking alcohol while pregnant. The intake of alcohol enters the unborn baby's bloodstream and causes permanent and irreversible damage to the fetus. Children who suffer from fetal alcohol syndrome are plagued by physical and mental problems. We here on i-Dentity urge all mothers-to-be to abstain from alcohol. The future of this nation lies in your womb. Nurture and protect it. Thanza likhasi lethu ku-Facebook, ungakhohlwa kusilandzela ku-Twitter na ku-Instagram. Funa nje ligama lelithi i-Dentity kuwo omathathu. Ungasithumela ne-email ku-identitytvshow@gmail.com. Siyivala ngengoma yemfana enkosi Samkelo Dlamini nengoma yakhe yokuvumisa lethi umuhle baba. Ngingmpumi wakambethe nelithimba le-i-Dentity sinifisela luthando, ukuthula nempumelelo.